Are y'all there? Oh, okay. Ooh, Jesus. I saw it say disconnect. I wasn't connected because I'm monitoring up there. But I was like, Lord, please, when I go back, let it work. Okay, it worked. Oh, Jesus. We learning. We living and learning over here. Okay. Okay, I just airdropped them. So let me find. So they had comments. All three of the queens had comments for those who had feedback about this menu situation. Then I'm gonna get to y'all comments too. So here's Corey Brim. So this again is the bartender, the traveling bartender who's supposed to be very rich. He says, in 20 years of me being in hospitality, people have often asked, what's the craziest thing you've ever seen? And I usually say, name it, I've seen it, which I thought was true. Now he's got caps all through this and everything, which I thought was true after launching the Three Kings tour. I swear, this is him, all caps, so I'm gonna yell when he do all caps. I swear I ain't never seen this much hatred and disdain for another human. He needs to watch his leader, Darius Crooks, and he would see it every day. For many humans. He says, white influencers will make you mac and cheese with potato salad in it, and you'd be sponsored by AT&T. And not one of you, three-eyed heathen, bat a single false eyelash. And I know when I type in all caps, you third grade level mental psych ward patients can hear me yelling. Do you clowns realize that this is your own voice in your head that you hear? Or do you actually hear my voice? And we've never met. Look, I'm fine. The tour is fine. The ticket sales are fine. But family, after all that, I'm telling you, this is from the very bottom of my heart. Corey, seek help, beloved 2024. Hashtag a hit dog gon' holler every time. That's from Corey. Pop Kettle Black. Like Pop call him Kettle Black. This is them to their this is them to their customers, to their followers. What? Then Jeremy, he gives his response. Because again, they're getting all this backlash. They got people who are, got problems with this menu, all of that. He says, I'm gonna henny y'all ass down on the Three Kings tour. And you gonna eat every dessert I make. Like y'all kids. People so used to eating little Debbie cakes that they can't even see the potential in trying something different. Come on now, that dessert was not elevated. It was not elevated. It was not. Don't like it? Stay home. It's not even that hard. You don't have to have an issue with everything. From Twitter to Facebook to Instagram, everyone has something to say, and these same people were never even coming. I know I wasn't. You right about that. That's it. I got to take care of myself today. They are snapping. They snapping on y'all. What is... Then we got the Queen Bee herself, Darius Crooks. I need to enlarge this. Says, Darius Crooks, this is why I stay out the comments like I used to be. Those are lies. I don't like how some of y'all be moving. We decided to collectively approach a menu, and now it's I don't drink Hennessy this. I don't drink Hennessy that. And I'm petty. Because the last time I checked, I'm not a mixologist in the group. I cook with liquor almost every day, and you ain't never seen me sip cognac out of the bottle with fried chicken or stuffed fish. I just said, God bless him, and took an edible. And then I agree with Jeremy T. Jones. If it was lamb chops and short ribs, you'd have an issue with that too. We literally sat on live and created a menu that you've seen nowhere. You're right, because people know better. Nowhere else. And we get hit with nothing but complaints. That's because you're not listening to your followers. You're not listening to your audience. Of course you're getting hit with complaints. But you get the point. Anyway, Chicago, love y'all. We're going to throw an event like you've never seen before. We know this. That's why we can't wait to see. See y'all on the 15th. And for those who keep asking about other tour stops, hear me out. Number one, we aren't doing your typical run-of-the-mill event. Number two, the menu costs almost $20,000. Number three, LaQuinty has reached out to over 60 venues in Chicago, the third largest city, because he typed that in all caps, in the country. Number four, guess what? We've got 59 no's and 1 yes. He ain't realizing that 59 no's was all people who knew who he really was and didn't want a scammer in their buildings. Number five, if we had this much trouble finding the right venue in a market like Chicago, exactly, and you're not in Chicago, you still 40 miles outside of Chicago because they wouldn't let you in Chicago. What you think we gonna have to do when we come to a smaller markets? Number six, this is why we can't only plan. Number six, this is why we can only plan one city at a time. Nah, I don't know about that. That don't make sense. If you got the right amount of staff and the bandwidth, you can plan for more than one city at a time. And number seven, lastly. Oh, and you know me, I played a long way. Hennessy in everything wasn't an accident. It was intentional. This way we can package our media materials and make a few more moves with brands. But you don't drink Hennessy, right? What the hell your brand deals are you attempting to bamboozle these companies and hope they don't get wind of who you really are? What does got to do with people's taste palette and whether or not people drink Hennessy? What? Just because you can earn money from it, it's now supposed to make people be like, oh, I'll drink it, massa. What? My question for those of you who follow these people is, were they Corey, Brim, and Jeremy, were they always this sassy? Or have they become more sassy because of Darius Crooks? Because if you pay attention to their posts now, it's like mini-me's. It's like you almost can't tell the difference except for Darius tries to elevate his reads. But, and Corey seems like a kindergartner most times ranting. Topaz Spivvy says, if your feelings are hurt by criticism in business, you shouldn't be in business. Right. And he'll say the same thing about other people. Shanice says, clown behavior, shaking my head. Corey still hasn't learned his lesson. Right. Majestic. So they don't want feedback? Exactly. They do not want feedback. Topaz Spivvy, their responses are so unprofessional. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Says, where are the mods? These scammers are in the chat. I don't know. Can I make you a mod here? Let me see. This thing don't work quite the same way. I'll try to make you a mod, Shanice. What was the second entree? Hopefully you heard it, because I ended up repeating it, but I don't have it on the screen anymore. Why are these people talking? Oh, we're getting spammed by those kind of chat messages. Hold on, this is more informal, so give me a minute to pull up this on YouTube and give Shanice the reins. Hold on. Here you go, Shanice. Am I in the right account? Here we go. Okay, there you go, Shanice. Handle them. Handle them, friend. Handle them. Thank you. And we don't block. In cases like that, we block if they're spamming like that. But we just time out people if they get a little ridiculous. But if they continue to be ridiculous, then I will block them. Majestic, I heard chicken on a stick. Yes, you heard chicken on a stick. Devon is saying bad idea. Bad idea. People get drunk enough. It's going to. Bad idea. People get drunk enough. It's going to turn all that. Is this cut off? I don't know. But maybe you're talking about the people drinking at the event being a bad thing. The thing is, I'm not even as concerned about like people being. Well, I forgot it's in the food too. I take that back. I was gonna say I wasn't as concerned about the people being too intoxicated because of the fact they only get 2 drinks. And when asked, would there be an option for them to buy additional drinks? Jerome was like, well, we can see about that, which means it ain't gonna happen. So they're only gonna have the 2 drinks, unless people share drinks or something like that. It'll be like, I don't want that nasty stuff. You can have mine. But other than that, they only getting 2 drinks. But again, it is in the food, so depending on the person and their drinking, how much they can handle all that. T Marie is saying this sounds like a train wreck. Yes, it is. Majestic, the event is paying over $100K. I guess I don't even know. Old Soul is saying, what are they saying in the comments that has the girls fighting? I don't even know what's happening with that. So anyway, that's that. I wanted to just kind of give y'all an overview of that. I definitely want to do a live because there are so many other pieces with this, but I wanted to cover that. And then lastly, before I let y'all go, I want to go ahead and read this article that I found to be interesting about Wendy Williams and the Wendy Williams documentary. So they're saying, this is according to ABC News, Wendy Williams documentary producers said they didn't know that she had dementia while filming. So they weren't aware. So those of us who was finger pointing at them in the beginning saying, why would they do that? They're exploiting her, blah, blah, blah. They're saying basically we got there and then figured out what was happening over time, but they didn't immediately know. So the article says, if you've watched Lifetime's Wendy Williams docuseries that premiered over the weekend and felt uncomfortable, you weren't alone. We know this. Where's Wendy premiered? Okay, I need to read this part. Where's Wendy premiered over the weekend and featured numerous scenes of the former talk show host, unsteady, belligerent, confused, and also drunk. Her manager would regularly find liquor bottles hidden throughout her apartment. Behaviors that producers say unnerved them while filming. But they say they didn't know at the time that Wendy Williams had dementia, which was publicly learned last week. The producer was quoted as saying, "We all became very concerned for her safety. To be honest, I was so concerned she would fall down the stairs, and for numerous different reasons," says Erica Hansen, the executive producer who can be seen and heard speaking with Williams at certain moments during the series. Hansen said soon after she and the filmmakers were told Williams had dementia by her son, they turned the cameras off. So that last scene we saw with them confronting Will, they was like, we out of here. That was the moment where they truly wrapped their mind, or were able to wrap their mind over what happened. So that means that car scene when Wendy kept insisting that they go back to the vape shop and they were at the wrong one, although they had took her there multiple times before. She kept telling them, go back around, the block. Obviously the production crew was baffled, and just knowing she was being erratic. I don't know if they thought she was drunk too at the moment, or if she actually was. But the producer goes on to say, we decided to stop filming as a team. We kept hoping that she was going to get better, but it became apparent to us that she was not, and that she really needed help, Hansen said. The Where's Wendy Williams debuted on Saturday, 2 days after her care team released a statement saying that she had been diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontal temporal dementia, the same disease Bruce Willis has. Its 2 episodes aired after attorneys for Lifetime successfully fended off an effort by Williams' guardian to stop the broadcast. Now that makes me wonder, were they forced, by knowing that this was going to come out, to then put out the press statement of confirming that Wendy had dementia before it aired? Because once they realized they couldn't stop it, they like, well, people are about to find out, and it's going to be like we were keeping it from them. So maybe they were forced to put that out. They were trying to get ahead of the story. Still way too late, but they were trying to get ahead of the story. Says, in a review, Variety calls the series an explorative display of her cognitive decline and emotional well-being. A DJ in Atlanta posted a video reaction on Instagram saying, "I couldn't finish it. It was so hard to watch. It was so hard to see her like that," she said. Throughout the documentary, Williams appears unsteady on her feet, and she has trouble walking without assistance. Her emotions fluctuated between sweet to suddenly irritable to belligerent to weeping or frustrated. Many times, the former talk show host admits to drinking, being quoted as saying, "I love vodka." She has been public about her cocaine addiction and lived in a sober house in 2019. Each time someone brings up her drinking on camera, Williams ends the conversation. In April of 2023, the film crew followed Williams to Miami to visit her son, Kevin, and other family. During the trip, Williams' son told the filmmakers that his mother suffered from a form of dementia caused by alcohol. He was quoted as saying, "We didn't find out about the diagnosis until Kevin Jr. shared that with us." And that was the vice president of Lifetime senior vice president of non-scripted programming. That was her quote. Says, after returning from Miami, the crew arrived at Williams' apartment to find her sobbing in her bed, seemingly inebriated. This was the tipping point. Hansen was filmed speaking with Williams' manager, Will Shelby, about her condition before they stopped filming Williams altogether. Shortly after, she was placed in a treatment facility for her guardianship. And she was quoted as saying, "We questioned all the time. Should we be here? Should we not? How can we tell this story sensitively? It touched all of us deeply. It really did," Hansen said. The project was intended to be a follow-up to Lifetime's 2021 Wendy Williams' What a Mess documentary and biopic. Wendy Williams, the movie, and Bryant said that both the network and Williams enjoyed their partnership and agreed to film Williams' next chapter. The objective, Hansen said, was to document a woman making changes in her life, facing obstacles, and coming out on the other side. Williams' self-titled daytime talk show ended in 2022 because of her ongoing health issues with Graves' disease and kept her from filming. And then, the Sherry Shepherd took over. But anyway, that's the bulk of that article. It's interesting to me too that some things have come to me over the days since that originally aired. There's been a lot of conversation about Wendy Williams' alcoholism, but not so much conversation about. Now we know that she admitted to using cocaine in the past, but what hasn't been talked about is the other knowledge that people have of prescription drug abuse. And so that's something to think about as well. Like the accusations that there's also other things involved and not just liquor. But it seems like there's still an attempt to curate and control the narrative with this, because I had a personal conversation about this, and I was like, I can almost see why they might be doing that, because to say she, went from cocaine and she, um, conquered that battle, whether it's true or not, conquered that battle, and then later on, ended up with an alcohol problem, and that's her only issue, is a lot different than putting out what might be the more accurate to say it is drugs and still alcohol, and it's abuse of prescription drugs. Like, then people might start feeling like, okay, she's an alcoholic and a druggie, and she may not get as much sympathy. That's just my own personal opinion. So I get what might be happening, but the other thing is there's more to the story than what meets the eye on so many levels, as we've seen. Oh, that was okay. I was trying to see if y'all had any. Darling P, that documentary was so triggering for me. Yeah, it was for me and others, as I was seeing in the comments as well. Kimberly saying, did y'all discuss the Three Kings menu and Darius cuss out some woman on his live? When ain't Darius cussing out somebody on his live? I don't know about the cussing out of the woman on the live. I know he doxed some people. He doxed a lady and her family a couple days ago, in addition to the person I told y'all about. I'm aware of that. We just went over the menu, so you probably, I don't know when this comment came through. You might have just missed that part, or I might not have gotten to it yet. You might have missed it, actually. This is not showing me what time your message came through, though. Okay, yeah, so Kimberly came in later. Marianne's letting you know that we talked about the menu. So, yeah, just rewatch the replay, Kimberly. You'll see we talked about the menu. But we're going to go in depth. I'm going to do a live where we'll talk in even more. Lorna Wilson is saying, yes, the documentary broke my heart. I'm sorry I could not finish it. Wendy was not one I used to love watching, and people have been saying cruel things, but I'm team. Are these comments getting cut off? But I'm team Wendy. Yeah, some of these comments are getting cut off. So yeah, I'm still, definitely hoping and praying for her healing. I mean, they're saying that, she's seems to be getting better where she's currently located. So I'm just hoping and praying that that's true, because we've heard a lot of things that weren't necessarily true. Majestic is saying, I saw the doc with new eyes the second time around. She makes more sense to me. Yeah, I did plan on rewatching it. What's up, Wayne? I did plan on rewatching it. I hadn't gotten around to it yet. It was too long for me. I never watched the Wendy TV show. Someone, Wells Fargo, came into another live and said Little Kev did some things with the money he wasn't supposed to. Okay, I'm glad you brought this up, Pink Pearl. So what I heard, this was actually from Michelle A.T. Brown, who refreshed my memory. Well, actually, no, it brought up an article that I was not aware existed. I'll have to find it. But in the article, they explain how it got triggered with the Wells Fargo. And what they're saying occurred was, remember that attorney that Wendy had? It was a black lady, and I just don't remember her name. But she had an attorney right when all of this stuff was starting to go down in the very beginning. And then all of a sudden the conservatorship happened and they iced that lady out. And she actually went public saying she was trying to help Wendy, but they iced her out, etc. So the story goes that Kev Jr., we know, had the power of attorney. Kev Jr., Wendy, and this attorney went to a Wells Fargo branch bank location, and they attempted to open up another bank account, and they were trying to transfer some of Wendy's money into this new account. The branch they went to told them, we can't help you, unfortunately, because this is a retail bank location. And Wendy's money was in Wells Fargo Advisors, which is the investment side of it. So it's handled differently. So what they said, but what we can do is we can call your advisor and then, you know, try to get you help that way. So they called Wendy Williams' advisor, who is the lady who ended up, you know, putting up the red flag, like something's happening. They call her, and she was saying, okay, I can help, but I need to talk to Wendy alone. Like neither Kevin or the attorney did she want in the room. And she's on the phone talking. Wendy was like, I understand if my son has to step out, but why can't my attorney be here? The advisor still refuses. I will only talk to Wendy alone. They basically refused. They had a stalemate, and then Wendy, Kevin, and the attorney ended up leaving by themselves, and nothing happened. However, things got triggered at that point. Now, what they're saying is that attorney who said she was working with Wendy ended up working with Big Kev, and has articles out where she's talking about how great of a guy Big Kev is. So she was actually representing Big Kev. So the question is, was Little Kev trying, like, caught in the middle and trying to help his father out a little bit? So trying to get some money so he could, you know, still be getting his father some money. Because remember, at that time, Big Kev is suing people and saying he didn't get his just due and all these other things. I don't know. That part is speculation. But there was something going on with that, where that attorney it was a conflict of interest, because she was claiming to represent Wendy, but she was also representing Big Kev and continued to represent Big Kev after it all went down. So that's the story. It was an article. I'll have to find it for y'all. But yes, so that is, I think, how Lil Kev got caught up in it, whether it's knowing or unknowing, if he knew she was also representing his father or not. Who knows about any of that? But that is the word on the street, and there's an article out about that. Yeah, thank you so much for that, Shanice reminder. If y'all are enjoying the content, please click that thumbs up. And if you're new to my content, hit that subscribe button. We have long form videos as well, but we do these. These are more informal, just us chatting about whatever hot topics of the day. And then, you know, we do our more polished lives. Okay, I'm trying to see if okay, I was trying to see if I didn't miss. I'm gonna read whatever little. Are we getting? It's a lot of messages being being deleted. S. Smith is saying that attorney is Wendy's sister. S. Smith, that is not the attorney I'm referring to. Let me see if I can. Oh, I forgot. I can't share the screen with y'all. Let me see. No, that's not who I'm referring to at all. It's not. I'm not referring to Wendy's sister. So that's a totally different person that I'm referring to. You know, I'm gonna have to just do a longer story on it, because I even have it in one of my other videos. The video I have on Wendy Williams, and it's got the, I'm gonna actually pull it up, put it in the chat. Was that a live or a recorded video? That's the way YouTube has this stuff. I can't always, I had to be able to remember if it was live or not. Otherwise, I got to go to the other side. Maybe it was alive. Maybe it was alive. I think it was alive. Yeah, it was alive. Hold on. But yeah, in that video, when the conservatorship first started and they were fighting, I did a video on it. Here it is. Share. Copy. So here's the video link. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. And they give you some background. Now, this was what I knew about that lady at the time. See if her name if she pops up. What's her name? No, it probably wasn't Sean. I'm probably thinking Sean because of the other lady. That's why I like to research things ahead of time, because when I'm trying to find things on the fly, it's like you can never find what you're looking for, because especially when you got a ton of content to try to weed through. Okay, yeah, I give up. But anyway, yes, it was not. That was not Wendy's sister that I was referring to with that story. What's up with Wendy and her son? This is Darlene P. What's up with Wendy and her son reunion? They didn't even hug one another. That was strange. You know, Darlene, it's interesting you say that, because I had the same thought. Um, the first the When they first saw each other in Miami, they didn't hug the second time. They didn't hug the second time either. But I think when he arrived, she was like, they were in that booth and she was away on the other end and kind of in between people. But yeah, I noticed that too. And I wasn't sure if that was just like because of the awkwardness. You got the camera people around and all of that. So like, and it looked like it was pretty tight. Like they were basically in the aisle. So I don't know if it was just awkward trying to get over to her. And he did reach over the table, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, she kissed his hand. So it could have been the awkwardness of trying to get around to her with the camera crew and all those people and production around and stuff. I don't know. But I noticed that as well. Lorna is saying, unfortunate, Kevin Jr. is not responsible enough at all dealing with Wendy's money. She needs her sister Wanda. Yeah, I feel like Kev Jr. is too young to manage that kind of money. I don't believe that he should be cut off like from what they alluded has happened. But I believe that someone older with more experience, and I would say somebody experienced with handling that kind of money, should be in charge and just divvy it out. Miss Southern Belle is saying, I think he was in shock when he saw her. Possibly too. I mean, he did say in his confessional that his mom looked very, thin compared to when he had seen her last, when he had got her healthy. So yeah. I'm not going to say like, oh, there was something wrong with their relationship because he didn't hug her in that moment. I think it'd be a variety of things that were happening in that moment, especially with all those people around and stuff. Pink Pearl's exactly Vell about the trigger. It was said the person from Wells Fargo, Lil Kev, was using Amex to pay for places that have his parties because he was a party promoter. And then he said in the documentary that it was him paying for a party for his mom's party. I'm trying to think, was that party when she was still at the show? Because if it was the party where she was still at the show, that was a huge party and the staff was invited and everything. But I'm not sure, timeline and all that. Darlene P is saying, Tommy Williams, Wendy's brother, has a YouTube channel and was discussing when they're in their family. I watched the other night. He was really in bad shape. Yeah, Darlene, he's had that channel since Wendy was still on the show when he had that channel. What do I say? He's had that channel a very long time. He's had it for years. And when he first came out, Wendy had a problem with him coming out, with him starting his channel. And she was basically saying he was clout chasing, all those sort of things. So there was if you look back to his older videos, you'll learn some things about it. So yeah. And yeah, I don't know. I'll leave it alone for now. But yes. LaShawn Thomas, thank you so much, S. Smith, because I'm struggling, and I felt like Sean was in the name, so that's why I thought Sean. LaShawn Thomas was the name of the other attorney that was. Let me see if this will work. Never tried this. Maybe next time I'm gonna try to go live from my computer. I just don't like the way that it looks. The camera is like way up on my face, and I can't adjust it at all. But if I go live from my computer, I can actually show y'all. Come on, phone. I can actually show y'all what I'm looking at. Let me see if I can bring her picture up and show y'all from this phone. Yeah, here she is. So that's LaShawn Thomas. That is who was supposedly representing Wendy Williams before before they X'd her out, before the conservative was like, get out of here. And you already was representing Big Kev too, like that kind of thing. So, but that is her. So that's who I was talking about, not Wendy's sister. And Shanice is saying these trolls are done. So the other thing, just for my moderators and stuff to be aware of, when I go live on the vertical platform, it actually sends these videos out to more people who have never heard of us and all of that, heard of me, seen my content ever before. So they said, even, you know, when I was learning about this stuff, that comes with the territory of this, because we're out to a larger audience on YouTube, which is part of the reason why I'm doing this. Truth be told, part of the reason why I'm doing this, so we can get new people to get exposed to us. What were we talking about? Majesty said she said he wears dresses. Oh, okay. I'm cleared up as soon as I read it. Yeah. So who is that? Darlene P, who's newer to knowing Tommy has a YouTube channel. It was a lot. So Wendy Williams did say on her show, because she was very upset that Tommy had even come out and was had his channel and all of that, and so she said he was cloud chasing all this. And the other thing she said was he wears dresses, and she alluded to his like sexuality and stuff, which is just, you know, a lazy read, but she did it. Yeah. Southern Bear says, my son is 27 and he gets awkward when he hugs me in public. It's just that generation. Well, I wouldn't even, and I get that, Miss Southern Belle, I wouldn't even say it's just that generation. I grew up in a household where we were not affectionate. And I remember the first time my mom, since I had been a little kid, the first time my mom tried to hug me was when I was getting ready to go away to college. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, it was uncomfortable for me. And to this day, I don't hug my mom. I love my mom to life. Love her to life. I don't hug her very, very rarely. And very, very rarely, we say a little bit more now, but very rarely say we love each other. Well, she says it to me. And in text messages a lot, like she's older now, but I grew up that way. I'm like, it's y'all fault. Y'all didn't bring me up in an affectionate environment. So it's awkward for me. So that's part of it too. We don't know. Maybe they weren't quite that affectionate rather, not affectional. Shanice is saying all these people were using Wendy. It pissed me off. Yeah. And that was the other piece too, about Wendy's brother. There's things, because again, he's been on YouTube some years. Once his viewership went down, he started clickbaiting Wendy's name. And I don't know if he just doesn't know how YouTube works. I knew he was learning it, but he would put like Wendy Williams having a good time in the title, and you go over to the video and it's no conversation about Wendy, has nothing to do with Wendy. And he was doing that. Every video title had her name in it. So that was misleading. He started to lose a lot of following from that. Like, cause when he first got on the scene, he would have like about 400 to 500 people in his lives. Now, you know, he lucky to cross 20. Shani says, child, Tommy's YouTube channel was a snooze. Yeah, I think people only find it interesting when there's something happening with Wendy, because they're trying to get info and get his perspective and all of that, which, you know, and then other than that, yeah. I didn't like it when the nephew and Kevin ordered a drink in front of her, knowing she had a problem with alcohol. Yeah, Peggy Gay, I felt the same exact way until, and I think we talked about this yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. And until Michelle Brown brought up the fact that, because when them drinks came to the table, if you remember, they were like, who ordered these drinks? Everybody was baffled by why the drinks were there in the first place. But they were like, no, give it to me. Like, bring it over here. So that's how they ended up with the drinks. So then the question was like, well, who ordered it? Who snuck and ordered it? Michelle Brown said production may have ordered those drinks to be messy. For the theatrics of it all. Because remember, they're doing a show, a TV show. And I know the article I just read but I also know what happens behind the scenes with production because they got to make it interesting. It is still a reality show to a degree, so that could also be possible. And they took the now. I think they should have just sent them back and said we'll still pay for them, but they did take it, and then it looked like as they panned the table real quickly, like everybody had a drink except for Wendy. So that could have been a production stunt for sure, because that's the kind of stuff they do. Majestic says I corrected that in my family as a teen. I think you maybe mean you might be talking about the affection piece. Whitney is saying it's the same for me and my kids. Uh, it's the same for me and my kid is so affectionate, but I'd be cringing and feeling like a bad mom. Yeah, it's like affection is nature. Well, it's nurture. So it's like if you're not giving that to a person, they may not, unless it's innate in them, they may not naturally gravitate towards that. Yeah, Sabrina's saying I had the same experience. So yeah, so I get it when I see families and they don't hug and all of that and and then I see even my friends are huggers. Like my friend group, they are huggers. So I had to adapt. And I was trying to get out of it anytime I could. And then I've been in relationships with people who are more affectionate. So as I've gotten older, because even in relationships, I used to not be really affectionate until it was time to be affectionate, if you know what I mean. But I used to not really be affectionate, but I've learned and then, even started enjoying being affectionate outside of those moments. But it was something I had to learn over. Like I had to be in relationships that taught me that because it was literally people like, I need this. You're not giving it. This is a problem. So. And it was uncomfortable at first, and then it became comfortable. Shanice is saying, yep, he was clickbaiting everyone that wanted an update on Wendy. That's so trashy. Yeah. Darlene is saying, I agree. There were only 63 people in the entire chat. I didn't know. Right, Darlene? You're learning. I'm glad you brought it up because then I watch his earlier if you're still interested. Go to like his videos from couple years ago and you'll see how the views are way higher. You'll see that there's more conversation about Wendy, but then he started running out of stuff to talk about or didn't have information because he was cut out. Like Wendy wasn't talking to him. Wendy wasn't really talking to the family. He didn't have nothing to share. S. Smith says they didn't order the drink. The drink was ordered before they got there. You're right. So that's why they were like, who ordered these drinks? But then they was like, give it to me. Because Wendy was like, I'll take one. They like, nope, give them over here. Bring them over here. Shanice is saying production. Michael Jackson, want to be starting something. Right. I definitely think, Shanice is saying, I definitely think the production crew ordered those drinks. Yeah, it looked like a stunt, like in hindsight. In the moment, I felt the same way as, I forgot who first made that comment, but I felt the same exact way. Like, why would they order drinks around her? And, that's like teasing her, blah, blah, blah. And then you later, the other side of it is like, oh, Uh, oh, Majestic said I learned affection from friends too. Yeah, yeah. I've definitely. I'm not. I'm best in relationships. Outside of that, it's still a struggle for me to be affectionate. I'm just not a person who I like my personal space and all that. And I can adore you, but like I don't need to hug you. I can adore you, but I don't need to hug you. Tiffany J says, I was affectionate until I had kids. Them hormones kick my butt every time. Plus, plus them babies. Well, and also, Tiffany, and not to get too personal, but like, couldn't postpartum also be a part of that as well? Like the change in that and the wanting to be affectionate and all of that. Shanice is saying, I'm so glad that Wendy got those leeches out of her life before her disease took over. Well, but then she acquired new leeches. So I hear you, friend, but I'm also like, but did she really? Or did she just trade them out? S. Smith says, I think you're right, Vell. Production was probably trying to be messy by sending the drinks to yeah, it's just very suspicious. Because also keep in mind, we saw the family home videos. We saw them cooking together. We saw that the family was really trying to keep all of that stuff away from them. So, like, when you really think about it, it don't make sense that they would have drink. Now, Tommy, we did see him at the table with his eyes red and glazed over, looking like he was feeling mighty nice. So maybe, you know, he was drinking, but I don't think he would have ordered for the whole table. Oh, yeah, look at me over here, Dr. Vell, Tiffany saying, maybe, never thought about postpartum. Dr. Vell at your service. No, I'm just joking. Ignore me. I don't know nothing about nothing. Tiffany says, anybody know Will or Sean's IG or Twitter page? Will, I do know his. I actually asked a friend about Sean last night because I don't know Sean. I should say I just didn't even bother trying to look her up, but I did think about it because I'm really curious at, like, did her comments get turned off? Did she, you know, did she block her account completely? If it'll come up, Jesus, I'm trying to get. It's Will Shelby ain't. Actually, I should have searched it not too long. No, it ain't popping up. I'm pulling up Will's for you. Is this it? I think that's it. Can I put? Oh, good. I think I put the link in here for you. But it's wild. No, it's Will the Boss 1, the number 1. Will the Boss 1. And here it comes, the link. Yeah, that's the link to Will's Instagram. And all you're going to see on there is jewelry. Jewelry and club promoting, looks like. Let me see if he turned his comments off. Let me see. He ain't got no comments. Well, this is 3 days ago. This is before the documentary, right? Oh, this thing don't always show me comments, though. Let me see. But, okay, it just looked like Will ain't posted, unless he did stories. But Will ain't posted nothing in 3 days. And it was jewelry related. So we'll keep track of that. Oh, KW says she limited comments on her IG. Her name is Sean Zapoto or whatever. Zapote. Okay, let me try to pull her up. That way. Never know when you might need these things, especially as a blogger. Oh, here it is. Her name is Publicist Sean. I'm gonna put hers in here too. Thank y'all for asking that. That made me remember that I wanted to. Oh, her page is private, y'all. Wait. Oh, no, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. It was just suggesting a bunch of people for me to follow. Okay, and here's Sean, the one who said, Wendy's just fine. No, I don't see anything, wrong. I just think if she, when she cuts back on her alcohol, she knows how to monitor. Like, what, girl? What? After everything we're looking at? Looks like Sean was, well, I don't know if she was in Chicago, but she tagged in Chicago. How long ago was this post? Oh, this was February 8th. She hasn't posted in a while. And it was about the WNBA. So she must watch the WNBA. She was also at a Live Nation event. That was 3 weeks ago. She don't really have no recent activity. She must have knew what was coming down the pike, y'all. She knew. Oh, she knew. What's going on, Sienna? Tiffany says, I'm like Lil Kev. He's a jeweler. How did he go from that to caregiver manager? Exactly. Lil Kev summed him up perfectly. Right, Whitney. I side-eyed her when she said that. Yeah, if you saw my reaction video, I did a, just so you know, it's up part 1, our live watch party, the reaction pieces and my commentary. I chopped up a video And so that's up if you want to check it out to see what my thoughts were in the moments, what my emotions were in the moment. You can watch that. I'm going to read a couple more and then we're going to get on out of here so I can get ready for, for our show later on. If I was Will, I wouldn't post anything either. He needs to be fired. He doesn't have Wendy's best interest at heart. Neither does Sean. They both need to go. Well, Sean, we can assume that Sean got fired after that trip to, after she drugged Wendy out there to LA, because we ain't see her none after that. So I think we can safely assume that she went bye-bye after that. Will, I heard that Will is no longer on her team, but I don't know if that's true because I haven't seen proof of that, but I have heard word on the street. Shanice is saying Sean is raggedy, trying to tag along to the Oscars with Wendy. Yeah, she was trying to go there for a networking opportunity. Sean has crisis publicists. That is clearly fake news, right? And then it makes me like, I really want to just revisit like this whole timeline to figure out, because I know that there were people, it might have been Sean, when they were putting out, they did say in the documentary, Sean came on board when they needed like the crisis publicist work. So I would love to see like her old statements and all of that. The Guardian protected Wendy's money. Well, yeah, we hope so. We hope so. I mean, I guess we'll know when it's all said and done. And Sean let Wendy order 2 Grey Gooses. I know, that was horrible, S. Smith. Horrible. She was definitely an enabler and out for self, for sure. Shanice says, yes, definitely we need to do a deep dive on Wendy. Yeah, I'm going to start. I think I already have one started, like with my notes and how I put my stories together. So I will, I'll look into that. But thank you, everyone, for joining us for our little live chit chat. And we will see you in a couple hours when I put together our show for this whole Diddy, this complaint. And we're going to try to read almost all 73 pages. We're going to see how far we get. But anyway, I will see y'all at that point. Make sure to please hit that like button on this video. Subscribe if you have not. And then also, if you are interested in getting notifications of when I go live, etc. I'm going to have to do this better for next time. Put the number in the chat for the VIP. VIP text. And it's 312-847. I'm going to learn this number one day. 2346. So it's in the chat. Text that number. Just say, hey, Vell, or text community, or whatever. Info. Whatever you want to text, and it'll sign you up for the text community. That way you'll get a notification every time I go live or upload any videos, watch parties, and all that good stuff. So with that, until next time, until I upload the next video, make sure to take care and be blessed. Peace.